Hi everybody, today I'm going to be making some Trinidadian style iced sorrel. We usually make sorrel during Christmas season, Christmas time, but since it's summertime right now and it's hot out, I'm going to be making an iced sorrel, which is basically the same version as the wintertime sorrel, but it's just chilled, it's just iced, or it is served over ice during the hot summer seasons. So I just have my ingredients out here. You can get hibiscus, dried hibiscus sorrel at your Caribbean grocery stores or Caribbean corner stores. They usually sell dried sorrel, which looks like this. It is basically the dried flower. It is the dried sorrel flowers. In here, I have some sorrel boiling. I put it to boil with some sugar. So this is just water. This is a big pot, and I added around 8 to 10 cups of water to this pot, and half a bag of sorrel, the bag that I just showed you, half a bag of sorrel, and some sugar. Now everyone's different when it comes to the sugar. Like some people add more sugar than others. Some people want it to be really sweet. Other people just barely add any sugar at all because they don't want to add too much sugar to their sorrel. So it really depends on your preference when it comes to sugar. And you can add, if you don't want to add sugar, you can add alternative sweeteners to your sorrel, like honey or agave nectar, whatever you prefer, really. The sorrel is definitely, this drink is definitely customizable, but I usually just add regular white sugar to mine. So it's been boiling for a while now, so I just turned down the heat to a low heat because I'm going to be adding my spices to this. But you can see, I'll show you the hibiscus flowers when they have been boiling. They kind of look like this. They get a bit chewy in texture, or after they've been in the water. So down in the Caribbean, you can also buy fresh sorrel. So you know how I showed you the dried ones? You can also buy the fresh sorrel. I don't know in North America if they have the fresh sorrel available to buy. I haven't seen that yet where I live, so that's why I just buy the dried one. But it's really nice. It's really nice if you can get the fresh sorrel because it's such a vibrant, beautiful color, and it looks really nice. So, but as you can see, the color after boiling for a while, it starts to turn really red, or kind of like a burgundy color. So I'm going to add the spices. I'll show you guys the spices. I'm going to add it to this water, sugar, and sorrel mixture. These are the spices I'm using here. You can add 1 cinnamon stick, 1 or 2 cinnamon sticks, 1 big bay leaf, or 2 to 3 small bay leaves. And of course, with these kinds of spices, you don't have to add all of them because you might not have all of these available at home. You can add whatever you have, like just cinnamon and cloves if you just have that. So it's really customizable. You don't have to add all these different spices, but I just like to add these different spices just for more dimension and flavor to the sorrel. Dried, this is dried orange peel. You can make your own dried orange peel at home. You know, just cut the orange and peel off some of its skin and leave it out to dry in the sun. I have some pumpkin seeds I love to dry out on the windowsill there. So you can just, you know, improvise, make your own stuff at home. These are allspice berries, pimento peppers, allspice berries, and a lot of Jamaican people add this to their sorrel. And here I have some cloves. I have 10 cloves here and 8 allspice berries. You can add more cloves and allspice berries if you want it to be very strong and like spicy. But since it's summertime, I don't want it to be too like Christmassy, and I don't want to add too many cloves and berries and all that because I already have like ginger, and so it's gonna be pretty spicy in general. But you can add chopped or grated ginger or ginger slices. I'm going to leave this to boil, and then I'm going to take it out of my sorrel because I just want the ginger flavor. I don't want it to be too strong. Then we have some star anise seed for flavoring as well, just a little bit, not too much. I'm also going to add some angostura bitters just for flavoring. This is the sugar that I used. And yeah, also I just want to say that in the Caribbean, some people like to add rum and alcohol and stuff to their sorrel, so this is optional. Some people would add like 1 cup of rum or a couple cups of rum to their pot of sorrel and make it like an alcoholic sorrel. So the rum is optional. You don't have to add alcohol to your sorrel, but it is an option out there that you can do. And I'm not going to be adding any, but I just had it here for reference because some people in the Caribbean, in Trinidad and Jamaica, like to make it an alcoholic beverage. So I just wanted to show this for reference. If you want to make it an alcoholic beverage, you can add rum to your sorrel drink. Okay, so I'm gonna add my spices and then I'm gonna turn up the heat a bit and let it boil and let the spices be absorbed by the liquid. So I just added my cloves. Now I'm adding the allspice, berries. And like I said, you can make it as spicy as you want. You don't have to add all the spices I showed. You could add specific spices. Like some people like to make their sorrel a ginger sorrel, where they basically just add the sorrel, sugar, water, and ginger. A lot of ginger to it because ginger has lots of health benefits as well. And this is a very, you know, we don't just drink this in terms of like as like part of our culture or because it tastes nice, but we also drink sorrel because of its health benefits. So that's why, you know, when we add the spices and herbs to, this is the ginger here, when we add the spices and herbs to our sorrel, it's like a very herbal drink. It's a herbal remedy, so it has health benefits, and I'm gonna get into the health benefits later on in this video. I'm just gonna crank up the heat a bit so it boils and every spice gets and flavoring gets absorbed by this liquid. And after I add all the spices and let it boil, let the sorrel and everything boil for a while, I'm gonna let it steep. So when I say steep, I am basically letting the sorrel sit in the pot for a couple of hours. That's what we usually do, or my family does. A lot of people do it in the islands. We just let it steep and let the water absorb all of the sorrel and all the spices, you know, mix in with each other, and it becomes really strong and really powerful. Because this is, we like our sorrel strong. We don't like it to be very weak. We want it to have lots of flavor and be strong. So this is the star anise seed. You can add other spices if you want, like cardamom and all that, but I think this is enough for me because I don't want it to be too spicy. For the summer, I want it to be a bit easygoing and nice and taste nice over ice. I want it to taste nice over the ice and all that. So you can also add more water. See, I was boiling this earlier, and the sorrel, the liquid, before I added all the spices, and when I was boiling it, the liquid was like around here. It was like up to here, and it went down a bit after boiling. So what you can do is you can just add more. You can just add more water if it starts to evaporate and go down and all that, because when you're boiling it, sometimes it can go down a bit. So just add more water. So we're left with a lot of the sorrel drink and all that, you know. So because it can get like evaporated after some time. So you can taste the sorrel and see if you want to add more spices or more sugar, like along the way. Just get a little tasting spoon, a little tester spoon, and taste it and see how it is. But anyway, I'm going to be adding some of my angostura bitters. It's a nice couple of dashes in there. And I find that with angostura bitters, like when I cook with angostura bitters, it really gives things a nice flavor, or it brings out the seasonings and spices more in whatever dish I'm making, whether it's a savory or sweet dish. It really balances things out, especially like in terms of dessert, like when you add a lot of sugar to things. And sometimes when we're making desserts, you know, people like to add salt to their desserts because it kind of balances out the overly sweetness of the dessert. So with Angostura bitters is like, just like its description, it's bitter, right? So that can help balance out anything that's overly sweet and overly sugary. Yeah, we're gonna let it boil and then steep for a couple of hours, and then I'm going to chill it in the fridge, serve it over some ice, and show you guys the color and what it looks like when it's all done. So when it's boiling, you can see how it's all red and or like a burgundy color like that. So that's the color it's supposed to be. It should be a very strong color. If it's not strong, you know, you need to let it boil some more. You need to let your sorrel steep some more, because it's not supposed to be light in color. It's supposed to be a very heavy, like reddish burgundy in color, because if you want your sorrel drink to be very strong and come out a really nice color when you're serving it over ice, it has to steep, it has to boil for a few hours and all that. Even if you want to do low heat, if you want to boil your sorrel on a lower medium heat, just let it boil for an hour or two, and then let it steep for a couple of hours so that everything gets absorbed, all the spices and everything get absorbed, and you get the most out of your sorrel bag of dried sorrel, and use everything to its full extent and potential, right? So I'm gonna try it and see if it needs any more sugar, because this is a big pot here and I might have to add some more sugar to it. Yeah, people also make sorrel desserts, because hibiscus sorrel and all that is very popular these days, or has been popular for a while, but now people have been very creative with sorrel and hibiscus. They have started to make sorrel ice cream, sorrel kind of fancy desserts or pastries, and they incorporate the flavor of the hibiscus. They make hibiscus extracts and stuff these days. So it's really interesting seeing all the creative things that people have been doing with hibiscus flower and what they're able to create and make with it in terms of desserts and food and stuff. They even added to savory things now as well, like hibiscus glazed salmon and all that. So I find that really nice and interesting. And in terms of flavor, I just want to get into the hibiscus flavor. It's a bit tangy and tarty, kind of like raspberry. So yeah, you can see it's high amount of iron and calcium. There's a little bit of vitamin C there. So high amount of fiber. Yeah, well. So it has lots of iron in it. I found that really interesting. Okay, so the sorrel is ready. It has been chilling in the fridge for overnight. I chilled it overnight, so for many hours. This is the amount of sorrel I got. 2 big kind of liters or jugs. And if you look at the color on this sorrel, it isn't very pinkish red or burgundy. It is more of a reddish sorrel or deep dark wine color, but that's because I added lots of spices to it. I added, you know, cinnamon, nutmeg, and allspice berries and all that. So that's why this batch of sorrel that I made is very dark in color, because of the spices. But it tastes really nice. It tastes very spicy, and I like that. It's really good. It's really nice. So, hibiscus sorrel is very good for your health. Not just like nice tasting. It doesn't just make a nice tasting drink. It's also good for your health and has many benefits. For example, it helps treat high blood pressure. It helps to lower your blood pressure. It is good for cholesterol. It is good for your digestive system and your immune system. It provides immune support. So people drink this as like a herbal remedy. And for women, for ladies, a lot of women drink hibiscus to help regulate their menstruation cycle. So it has benefits for females, for women who have maybe PCOS or irregular periods and are suffering from just missing their periods and all that, or having issues with that. It helps stimulate blood flow towards the pelvic area, pelvic region. So drinking this, you know, if you've been late or have missed certain period dates, try drinking a lot of hibiscus tea or hibiscus juice, or you can do an iced hibiscus drink, or you can drink it as a tea, like a hot tea. Try drinking that for a few days or a few weeks, and it's gonna basically help cleanse out your system. I noticed that when I missed my period or had irregular periods, and when I did a few days on the hibiscus tea, I'm specifically talking about in the winter time, because I was drinking the hot hibiscus tea. Right now it's summer outside and all that, and I'm drinking the cold hibiscus tea. But in the winter time, when I was getting when I wasn't having any periods, I was getting irregular cycles, and it wasn't like constant. I did a few days on the tea, and it would come back after a few days, and it wasn't instant like that. That's why I say you have to drink it for a couple of days, and you know, cleanse and detox your body, and maybe do some other herbal teas along with that as well, or eat lots of herbs and whole foods to make sure that you are cleansing your body and detoxing to help everything get back in motion. So this is really good, and it's a natural remedy, so you don't have to go on any medication. And there's numerous health benefits. You can look the other health benefits up online. But yeah, I really enjoy this drink. I love it. And in the Caribbean, you know, every island makes their sorrel different. Like in Jamaica, they add more pimento peppers, and like the allspice berries, they add I think they add different spices to Trinidad. In Trinidad, the sorrel there is usually just clove and cinnamon. So I think each island kind of does theirs differently, or each family, or some people like to add alcohol to their sorrel. Another thing you can do is you can make it a soda. You can make a soda sorrel or fizzy sorrel. You add your soda water to your sorrel and make it a nice fizzy drink. Just to liven it up a bit. Do a summer kind of spritzer drink and all that. And I really want to try making sorrel ice cream. I think that would be really nice. If the sorrel is too sweet, I can only drink 1 glass of it because it'll be too much, but I can drink many glasses of this because it isn't too sweet. So yeah, that's how I make sorrel. And like I said before, I change up my recipe from now and again. Like sometimes I only add cinnamon, sometimes I only add like cloves. It depends on what I'm going for and what season it is, you know. But yeah, you can definitely customize it to your taste and to your preference. So I hope you enjoy this video. Feel free to subscribe. Do share your thoughts below, and I will see you later.